Welcome to Eats, Beats, and Bar Seats, your ultimate nightlife navigator. Brought to you by drinkthedrink.com. Whether you're a weekend warrior, a city dweller, or a traveler looking for the perfect night out, we've got you covered. On this podcast, we dive deep into the best local spots for food, music, and unforgettable bar scenes.
Let me introduce myself. It's Peter DeMacos, Eats, Beats, and Bar Seats. It's brought to you by Drink the Drink. First, general manager, owner, or are you?
General manager.
Great. What possessed you at probably a young age to be crazy enough to be in that restaurant business?
The joking answer would be poor life choices.
Just right off the bat, I want to tell you, I read some of the reviews have been outstanding. And I noticed that even the ones that were not perfect reviews, it was like a guy saying, hey, normally I give it a 5-star, but on this occasion it was like a 3. And like that's outstanding. Would you get that in a restaurant?
It's true. I mean, like the thing I always try to tell everybody too is like the greatest compliment they can ever give us is just come in the door, right? Like they choose us. That's the best thing. And so if we can just give them any sort of service and give them a smile, like you said, everybody's going to have a bad day. You always try to hope the best to avoid them. But when it does happen, it's nice to see that, it's kind of corrected the right way.
Yeah, I can imagine. So I've got a couple of questions I'm going to start going off with because we really want to know about the restaurant. Look, I looked at it. I think it's an awesome place. Really kind of, is it a neighborhood type bar, restaurant?
So this neighborhood is very kind of it's, because it's so close to downtown Toronto, but yet it's still just on the outside. And so when you kind of cross the bridge coming over the Don Valley, you kind of feel like you're in a different little spot. It does have that neighborhood feel to it. Yeah. So there is a big connection to that, to the community here. The fact is there's a lot of regulars because of that. And so it is definitely a very different thing than being in a downtown core or, your King Street West in Toronto and things like that. You have a much more regular clientele where it's that family kind of feel for sure.
I'm coming into your place on Wednesday night. What are my go-to? You're like everything. What is the go-to in your restaurant? Let's go to the go-to on the restaurant. And what am I having? I'm coming in there. What am I having? And I like everything.
So I mean, my thing I always said to everybody is, how hungry are you? Because then I can kind of gauge you in the right direction. Our brisket sandwich, because it's made fresh here and we smoke it here in house. Yeah. It's just it's something to be unmatched. Like our brisket tacos are something phenomenal. Our fish tacos is probably one of the best selling things in here. Everybody raves about them. And so those are the two things that I would probably push you in that direction because I really want people to try the brisket in any way that I can get that to them. I mean, those are the perfect things to kind of come in. It's nice and easy. I mean, you can't go wrong if you want to try that brisket like you were talking about. Get those on the nachos.
Let's go one step further and let's go to drinks. I'm on crafted cocktails. Is there a mad scientist or are we just a standard?
I'm probably going to maybe have a spicy marg just because every now and then you need to have something. Is watching all the cocktails going out and doing the samples of everything, you still get to have the ability to try them without having to sit down and drink them anymore.
Well, how about your customers? What do you say when the customer says, surprise me on my cocktail? You make something different. I want to know about different.
Something that we do that's different. I would say that the Paradise in Oaxaca, which is kind of our version of the spicy marg, that's a little twist on that. I would say that again, that's the one I would go with because again, tequila is always the one everybody loves, and everybody's into like having that little bit of a spicy kick to it now. And so I just think that we just do a little bit different on everything. Everything's just got a touch different here, and so that's what makes us stand out.
And I know you got sticky toffee pudding. You got a sticky toffee cake. To make it in house, or is it?
We have a baker that actually makes all that stuff in house as well. Same with the 8-layered chocolate cake, was made in house. Sticky toffee pudding, as an Irish guy, grew up having that in my house quite often, so it's something I'm very familiar with.
So tell me about the different events that you guys do. Like the audience, I can tell you right now is probably going to be local, right? That's what you're attract local retail business.
Yeah. Again, like I said, being on the east side, but like you said, it seems more local. And so the whole idea is to try to keep things local. We've done what we call a patio party where we cleared out the back patio. We had some games and events and things like that we held out.
So that would be leading into my vibe question. So the vibe is, if you're describing it in a few words, what's the vibe of the bar?
I mean, that's the way I always try to describe it, is that it's an elevated pub experience, elevated to the sense that, like, we have that feeling where you can come in and you don't have to worry about, being very pretentious and kind of snooty and uptight, because, have the music going. It's a laid back experience, but you're going to get the elevated food. You're going to get the elevated cocktails. So it's kind of that perfect blend between the two things that everybody really wants. They want the high-end stuff, but they want to be able to kind of relax when they're doing it. Yeah,
I noticed your menu and I took a look at it and I said, wow, it's got the Prohibition tacos, which is, the pulled pork, or is it chicken and pulled pork? Is it a variety?
It's a brisket, actually.
It's a brisket. Okay, sorry, it's a brisket. And then you've got like 3 types of jalapenos on there. You've got a whole bunch of different types.
Yeah. And I mean, oddly enough, like, we're just having this conversation now. We're just in the midst now of kind of finalizing up some new menu things. So a new menu should be coming very soon for us. We're hoping to launch that in the next few weeks. So a lot of new things coming. I don't want to spoil anything, so try to get everybody to come in, come check it out.
Check it out for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the beauty of it. We, like, our burgers we make in house and things like that. The brisket we do here in house. So everything's kind of, it keeps it fresh, and that's like I said, the elevated style of things.
And who's the inspiration in the menu? I know, like, chefs are always, people talk about chefs, but inspirations come from people that are got the creativity. Period.
I mean, so that again, it's a team effort here. I'm sure you yourself, that sometimes those decisions get made from the top and sent down. I mean, that's more something you would see in a very corporate environment. It's kind of sent down. Nobody understands it. Nobody can quite get where this is coming from. So when you actually have the guys that have, the boots on the ground, so to speak, making these decisions and having their say in it, makes a big difference.
Okay. And so you also have chicken and waffles. You're probably brunching on Sunday and Saturday.
We have what I would like to think is one of the most underrated brunches in the city. And to be completely honest with you, myself, living in the city, our brunch package is one of the most underrated. It's something that I wish I would have discovered a long time ago.
Yeah, it looks really good from the menu. And talk to me about your events. I noticed you have a Friday night. Is it DJ Friday night? Is that?
Yeah, so Friday, Saturday night we have a DJ in here. It's just to try to keep like I said, it's not a club vibe. It's to have a DJ in here to keep the vibe going, just so it elevates that a bit more on the Friday, Saturday night. We don't necessarily want to get it going to the super rowdy crowds, but you still want to have music going, and you still want that vibe of people to be able to sit and kind of enjoy themselves on a Friday, Saturday night when we do get to go out on, today's. It's going to be in here to enjoy the vibe and have, the DJ playing to the crowd of people that we have here.
And probably, I'm going to say this, are you underpaid? Or are you paid well? I would say every general manager is underpaid, I can tell you.
I mean, I won't argue those points with you.
Okay.
You know what, to be honest with you, I can't even take the credit for it. And you got to give it to your staff. When you have that consistency, you have to give it to your staff. As much as management's here, we're here to really just hammer the first 5 yards, the last 5 yards of the field. You know what I mean? Everything in between is them. So the consistency, I can't take credit for that. I have to give the people here, like, that's the staff for sure.
And the owners, right? The owners have to
100%.
The owners
100%.
It's top down. If you have that ownership, the restaurant's going to be bad, or the bar's going to be red.
It's true. And I mean, if you've owned things and you've been in the industry, yourself, there's always going to be those owners out there. And so it's true. When you find the right ones and the ones that have that understanding, it's a thing of beauty to work there.
10, 15 words to tell us why we should be there.
It's to have the experience of having the elevated dining experience. Our food is always fresh. It's top notch. And you add the top-notch cocktails into her, and with a very much laid-back atmosphere with, the TVs on. You can lay back in the booths. You can have the high-top tables and things like that. So if you're coming here, I would say it's coming in to have a nice, relaxing dinner and cocktails, but to really understand and taste the difference between the food and the drinks.
Yeah, and I trust me, I see your food preparation, and I understand food fairly well because owning restaurants. I could see that you guys take a lot of care in what you're doing in that. So, Michael.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much.